You're on.
Good,
Woohoo.
good morning, folks. Welcome to Monday morning, March 31st. The first quarter is done. Can you imagine that? Where did it go? It seemed like Christmas and winter was yesterday. Winter doesn't want to let go, though, does it? If you're in the Ottawa Valley, yeah, you had a bit of ice and snow, but now it's like, what, 15 degrees coming on the horizon? So,
Today.
enough of our Weather Channel news. Let's go to, hey, what's going on in our Phoenix Business Exchange space? And if you're looking from the outside in, pbex.ca. So type in the letters pbex.ca and you'll get our website. And well, look, there we go. Someone's having a bit of a motor vehicle issue. The non winter edition,
Oh,
and we have
that's not my
got a
car.
few other things in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down. Member of the week, Mr. Sam Sturls. Oh, what does Sam do? Well, you know what? Dash cams. He swaps out your winter for your all season tires for the summer. He'll do your brakes, and he does it in a really good, cost effective way. Want to know more? Want to reach out to Sam? Want to set up a meeting? There's Sam's e-card. Just click on that. It has all the contact details. Want to see what Sam does? Click here. There's a little video about it. Now, you want to join the meeting today? Well, you go look at hit this little red button right here. It says Monday morning, 8 to 9 Eastern, Bell's Corners edition. Just click there. Zoom will take you into this fine place. We're also meeting Wednesday morning, East End edition, and Thursday morning, South End edition. So just follow these links. All times are in Eastern time. April 1st, yeah, fine day. When well, this just reminds me, this is the end of the fiscal for the government. So there's some people in procurement that are going to be busy or submitting claims, however, or submitting paperwork. April 1st, the beginning of the new fiscal year for anybody in the government agency or government strong agency, is tomorrow. And you know what? After hours, 7 p.m., we're having a session where we hosted by Penny Lee, where she helps you stay accountable to your goals. And those goals, whether they're personal or business, and just keeps you on track. And it's meant to be motivational. Easter egg wins. That's tomorrow, 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. At people from across Canada and some folks from the US and Europe attend this. Friday afternoons, just to have that chill moment at 1:30 with Mr. Tony Jennis. Just roll right in there at 1:30 p.m. and get some meditation on the go. Now, Penny Lee, she's got the movement as medicine classes. She's kind of changing up her schedule, but if you need to get moving around, that's where you go. It keeps your body healthy. Tony handles your mind. Penny Lee handles your body moving around. May 29th is the next in-person session at River Lounge. That particular day, it's going to be a Thursday, won't be on Zoom. You see somebody talking here today, you want to know more about them? Click the QR directory for all members and you can drill in there. You'll see the QR code over my shoulder. Again, my phone number, my email, my cell. You want to text me, whatever. But that's for any of us. And that's the beauty of being part of the Phoenix Business Exchange. Those little QR codes and those links, that's all part of the e-card program. Year to date, 1,400, almost 1,500 people have capitalized on using those links. So that just shows you the traction. $4.8 million worth of business since 2016. Fair bit of chunky change just between the members. Year-to-date numbers, 55,000, almost 55,500 in referrals year-to-date. And by the way, tomorrow's April 1st. Send your stats to Tony so we can update that number and keep us cruising. I'm going to stop talking because you know what? Our favorite orator, Mr. Mike Wazowski, is up next. Here, Mike, have at her.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernie. Always love his introductions.
I know.
Very good at that. Should be an MC in many different types of functions. Yeah, well, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice weekend, maybe snuggled in yesterday because of all the inclement weather that we had. I want to talk today about what we do all day long, and that's making choices. And sometimes we don't really think too much. We just make a quick choice, and all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh. Or you read a text and you reply right away because you made that choice, and it's like, oh, should have thought that out a little bit more, or an email. So yeah, choices, they can, well, they're great things because it gives us the privilege to choose what we would like to do in any given moment. So today, witness the choices that you make each moment. What I mean by that is that in the mere witnessing of these choices, it brings them to your conscious awareness. And know the best way to prepare for any moment in the future is to be fully conscious in the present. So here's the tip. Whenever you make a choice, ask yourself two simple questions. What are the consequences of this choice that I'm making? And will this choice bring fulfillment and happiness to me and also to those who are affected by this choice? Then ask your heart for guidance and be guided by its message of comfort or discomfort. So if the choice feels comfortable, plunge ahead with abandon. If the choice feels uncomfortable, pause and see the consequences of your action with your inner vision. This guidance will enable you to make spontaneous, correct choices for yourself and for all those around you. And in life, remember this quote, the main thing is to keep the main thing.
Mike, thank you so much. And to keep us on track on the main thing, here is the LinkedIn Live post feed. So just put your contact details out there for people to find you. We're going to swing over. You know what? Lana's just sitting there smiling, waiting for that trigger button to fire off. Lana, you're up first, and followed by Eric Sonego. Go ahead, Lana.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the residential realtor of the group. My name's Lana Burnley, and it's often confusing because about closing dates with real estate or when you buy something because we watch too much American TV. And in the United States, realtors are a lot responsible for the closing and the transfer of keys and things like that. These things, right? And in Canada, realtors have absolutely no power at closing. Our power is when you're looking at houses, when we've got you covered, when you are, doing your inspections and listing in the property and marketing and things like that. We cannot transfer title. We cannot remove mortgage or deeds, mortgages from a title or add a mortgage to a title. In the States, they can. So I have nothing to do. Once the deal goes firm and the lockbox is removed from the property, then my job is basically done. Sometimes I have to answer questions and things like that, but it's purely the lawyer from that point on after the deal goes firm. And that's something that we forget because, again, we watch too much American TV. So when it comes to closing, your lawyer is your best friend, not so much your realtor. I'm your best friend up until the deal goes firm because I have covered your butt from that point, from the time we met till being firm. And then it's lawyers. I'm Lana Burnley, your residential realtor of the group. And I put smiles on faces one house at a time.
Lana, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And just a quick note, if you are an optometrist looking in on us, come on in. We have need of your services. Got to have that hairy eyeball fixed. Eric, over to you. And then we will go to Josh.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning. Welcome to spring 2025. I don't like tax season that much, except for one overriding thing that is fantastic. I do my first tax return in January when it's dark at 4 o'clock, when it's 25 below zero outside, and when we have snow on the ground. And I do my last tax return on May the 5th, May the 6th, when it's all green, when it's warm, and when it's when it's spring. So I like tax season because I know that the last return I do is going to be, in good weather. Our accountants and management consultants located in Canada, we specialize with medium-sized businesses. We do year ends and corporate tax returns and things like that. We do some nonprofit organizations, but I don't like to do volunteer places because if they have 300 members, you have 300 clients, but no responsibility. So in accounting, we usually don't advertise. We usually don't advertise charitable organizations and things like that. We do them, we have them, but it's always by word of mouth, and it's always quite labor intensive because of the people dimension to it, and not because of the work dimension to it. So we do them as well, and we do this, out of an office in Canada. The thing that I'm working on right now is we're merging with another company that is more national in scope. We're regional, but they're national, and we're now at the lawyer part of the lawyer part of the deal. So my lawyer has the documents. The lawyers have the documents, and come May 1st, I'm going to be a different person when you see me here. In the meantime, you can call me at 613-254-7310.
Eric, thank you so much. And this is the reminder for today's event at Canada Food Cupboard. They're having a spring pop-up thrift store event between 1 and 5 p.m. today at 20 Young Road at St. Paul's Anglican Church. So gently used clothing has been washed and cleaned. It can also include housewares, jewelry, and much more. So if you've done your spring cleaning because you couldn't go anywhere yesterday, there's a place to bring your goods. And Josh, over to you, sir.
Morning, folks. I'm Josh Lamb. My company is Sterling Grace Tech, and we're your one-stop shop for all your IT needs in Eastern Ontario. We know we have experts on our team that know how to handle most of your technology needs, and if we don't know, we know somebody who does, and we can connect you to whomever that might be. And so we kind of function in the role of a CTO, Chief Technology Officer, for your company. So instead of having to be a Fortune 500 before you can hire that big CTO role, you've got us right here, and we're just an email or a phone call or a Zoom meeting away. So half of what we do is managed services. That's basically supporting your internal network and your team that use computers in their day-to-day work. Might be anything from having issues with getting a workstation to turn on, or having issues with a server, and the services that server provides could be anything from customer relationship management software, email, any kind of mission critical business software that you have running on your server. And so we help make sure that runs smoothly. We monitor it for signals that it might be having problems or that it might be on its way to failure. Things like hard disks starting to go will show certain signals and signs up to months before it actually goes bad. And so we see these things in our monitoring platform. We have both antivirus built into that platform, or the more powerful AI-driven endpoint detection and response platform. We use one called Sentinel-1. It's pretty good. Look it up. It has the ability to catch things that most antivirus vendors aren't even aware of yet, because it looks at your software's behavior on your machine instead of just signatures. So usually an antivirus program is looking for a fingerprint. And this means that about 500,000 or so computers on what's called the 0 day, that's the first day that a virus is kind of released into the wild, you're going to be hopefully taking advantage of about 500,000 computers that get compromised and smoked. And then somebody like Norton or Bitdefender is going to pick up those computers and get forensic information to build these fingerprints so that they can detect it when it becomes present in other people's PCs later. So if you're using EDR instead, the endpoint detection and response Sentinel-1 product, then you don't have to worry about that kind of thing, because it has a much higher rate of coverage, and it can detect those malicious softwares when they're in the middle of being malicious, instead of waiting to see the database of 500,000 people that have been smoked, so to speak. The other half of what we do is web integration and custom software design. And so part of that is website development and making sure your SEO is looking good, making sure that it's performing well, and that it's user friendly and beautiful, and mobile friendly. And then the other half of that piece becomes, sorry, excuse me. The other half of what we do there can include things like e-commerce. We use WooCommerce for that with WordPress heavily, but also integration. And one of the projects we're working on lately is a payroll integration. So we've got a customer that is associated with the city of Brockville who's using a preferred time tracker app, and then they have to do about 2 hours to 3 hours every payroll of manual time entry into the city's payroll system. And so we're writing software that will tie those two systems together so that it just all works automatically. And that's just one of the small things that we can do. So if you're looking for a way to make your tech stop taking up all your time and costing you money, and maybe start even making you money and making it easier for you to connect with new clients, we're the people to call. And I'm Josh Lamb at Sterling Grace Tech. Give me a call if you want your tech to make you money. Thanks.
Josh, thank you so much. Now, we're going to swing over to Mike. But before we get there, though, Mike has a special offer, and because that's what Mike's going to be doing. He's going to talk about Dwight and Nicole. And then we'll go do Tony, and then we'll come back again to Mike because he has his own piece. But if you can't make a session at one of the Phoenix meetings, Mike will be your stand-in. If the timing works, he's there for you, and he'll do your piece. Mike, over to you, or Dwight. Pseudo Dwight and Nicole.
Great, thank you, Bernie. Yeah, so I'm representing Taste Sweet Life Catering. So Dwight and Nicole are amazing at preparing the perfect foods for your personal needs and also corporate events. They love cooking up the healthiest vegan food. And what's really nice about it, it has a really nice Caribbean twist to it. They can deliver your order right to your door. They can arrange to cater it for you. And great for parties, wedding showers, luncheons, grand openings, and many other celebrations and occasions. They are all up for that, and they have a really good reputation for this type of catering. So a really good specific referral are individuals that are in charge of getting food at a determined function like office meetings. They're looking for a twist to entice their colleagues and their guests with the creative, healthy choices. So Dwight and Nicole Thompson, Taste Sweet Life Catering.
Mike, thank you so much. And just a notch into the calendar, September 4th, 9-hole game of golf in support of Canada Food Cupboard. It's a charity of choice this year. And just putting it in there, it'll be under $100 to play that 9-hole game. Tony, tune us in.
On mute. Okay, thank you very much, Bernie. Yeah, just a quick thing about still getting some people asking about a general contractor. I guess it's spring. There's a lot of things going on. Lana would know a lot about this. Right after winter, people are looking at maybe listing their house, and maybe we should do a few tweaks in the house. So those are the kind of things that we're starting to see. If you are bringing in a visitor, as a reminder, there is a gift card for food or for gas for that. So bear that in mind. Bring a visitor in, and that would be great. And before I get going, I had a BAM with Cara Lee from the Canada Cupboard. Saw her facility that she has here just down the way on right next to the metro, and it was quite an operation. They have over 300 volunteers or something. It's just amazing how many people go with that, and so it was great to see. Penny Lee, we dropped off several puzzles, almost 24 puzzles for her. We did a quick drive in our neighborhood, and we picked up a few things for her charity there. Also want to give a shout out to Josh. Had a quick thing over the weekend, and it looked like I was losing some of my the backup in our website for storage and stuff, and some of the bandwidth we were having some issues with, and he fixed it right away over the weekend. I said, Josh, man, we gotta make you some kind of a cape that looks like IT or something. So it was really good. Be able to talk to somebody and get that, because that's the kind of service I provide. So I'm always blown away when I get it back. So thank you very much, Josh. You're awesome. No wonder you're a growing concern for sure. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group, medium and clairvoyant. In spring, people are usually starting off with maybe some alliances or business deals or things like that they're maybe branching off into. On top of the normal research that you're doing, call me for a quick reading just to see how it is all going. It's probably going to be the best investment, because most times it's the reading comes out that it's positive, but there's some caveats, and sometimes Spirit has something to say on top of it. There's only been a couple that's been an absolute no, and then they're really surprised. So just come in for a reading. Come in for just to get an idea of what's surrounding the deal itself. I don't need to know details, just as far as energy goes. And also, to this week's crystal is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a wonderful crystal. It just comes as a bracelet. And when you wear it in a networking event or a family reunion where there's some toxic people there, this actually repels a lot of negative energy, psychic attacks, depending, of course, how intense the thing is. I just got a call recently from a person that's going to a party, and his ex-wife is going to be there. He was really panicking. So we're going to suit him up with one of these, and it's not going to be anywhere near the hit that they would normally get. This particular crystal just repels it. It's like putting two norths together, or north and south. However, there's a huge repel there, and you'll feel like maybe 3 or 4% of whatever that person is shooting you. It's when people look at you in a way, you just know that someone watching you. That's because your energy is wide open, and this one gives it that coating or that shield that you won't even notice those anymore. So it's a wonderful crystal that way. So if you go to anything that has any negative influences, that would be the crystal I would recommend. Last thing is, I'm teaching an international group of students on my art, the tuning sessions, where I'm launching a brand new thing, and the company caught wind of it, and they want me to be able to teach their students. So what I need is somebody who's willing to come in for a tuning session, and it's free. It's normally $150. But you can come in and we could tune you in front of the class, and this way you get it for free. This way it's for students.
I think Lana just put her hands up where she stuck her finger in the electrical socket. One of the two things.
Okay.
She just landed a reaction there.
So if you want a tuning, it's a wonderful technique. It's Sunday at 4:30. So we can talk more about that, Lana. So if you're willing to do that, that'd be awesome. And other than that, Bernie, back to you.
Hey, Tony, not a problem. And so I'm just going to pipe out a couple of things here. East Trade Winds, that is the link to attend. It's free. You register once, you can come as often, or you can keep using the same registration piece over and over again. And if we end up doing a BAM, a business activity meeting in person, I tend to try doing it at the At Hive location, 1745 Courtwood. And they also have a bistro there, and they have a chef. So, tasty food. And you're getting the advice from a skinny guy talking to you, right? So, Mike, tell us a story.
All right. Thanks again, Bernie. Morning again, everybody. So I started a community organization called Playing It Forward for Wishes. And basically, we teach young kids the art of paying it forward in their life by playing it forward. Started it with a good friend of mine who's the general manager and co-owner of the Metcalf Golf Course, Rob Howell, and the two of us, we got 6 more people together. We're all volunteers. And again, to reiterate, we started it in 2014, and we've raised through our two events per year over $550,000 that we give back out totally to the community for community organizations that require financial assistance and which supports them to do the good works that they do. So it's a really, I just love playing it forward for wishes. So I have an offer because one of our events is coming up in June. It's the Enduro Golf Classic. And basically, I'm looking for foursomes. So I know with the Phoenix's charity of choice this year, which is the Canada Food Cupboard, a great organization, Playing It Forward for Wishes has already pledged to give them $1,000 in behalf as a Phoenix gift. The other opportunity is we're looking for golfers. So let's say, for instance, and I'm going to make it very simple. If you found 4 golfers to golf this event I'm talking about, I will donate another $1,000 to the Canada Food Cupboard for the Phoenix Charity Choice for 2025. So it's as simple as that. All you have to do is ask me for information. I send you the information. You find a foursome or golfers. You come out. These golfers are known as golf angels. Golf angels, I've always had them in the past. Basically, golf angels, what they do is they love to golf. They don't really know how to help out a charity or a community organization, but they love to golf. So they come out, they golf, and they are well aware that because they are golfing, enjoying the full day of activities, prizes, food, what have you, they want for nothing, that they're also making $1,000 gift because of their efforts as golf angels towards the Phoenix's charity of choice, which is the Canada Food Cupboard. So simple. If you know golfers, your database order, send it out and send me, I'm interested. Send you a quick email, shows the link, shows how easy it is. You find a foursome, $1,000 goes towards the Canada Food Cupboard, the member for Phoenix. Okay, so keep that in mind. Mattering matters.
Mike, thank you so much. Meanwhile, while you're out there, if you've used a plumber in the last little while and you said, hey, that was a really awesome plumber, let them know that we exist and perhaps they might want to join us to be part of the Phoenix universe. Have them reach out to Penny Lee Prebo for more details. And now swinging over to myself. Hey, Business Concierge. I connect people. I tell their story. You'll hear the Knack for Business podcast, and got lots of people that, close to 289 podcasts that have been processed and that are out in the wild right now. So close to 300 and more this week. And then also did a Property Wizard podcast recording this past weekend. And it was about, we talked to a legal rep, a lawyer, and it was about real estate fraud and and this it's timely, Lana, you should mention the lawyer is your buddy because they're the last line of defense between it's not a real person, it's the property buying the real owner. Those are important things, or title insurance or title fraud. Right? Title insurance means it's yours, and title fraud, and there's little caveats. But that's part of the deal, and that's kind of the journey. So I get exposed to a lot of different people, and they have a lot of tips in there. So the utility of knowing me is I'll cross connect you with folks, and if we're working a project, we'll go from there. Speaking of Josh and Handy, Josh, there's totally appreciative because one Sunday, or actually, I was having a really interesting week. Anything to do with DNS usually amounts to that's a pain, and was doing everything right, and it's like, man. And Josh got on the call. He ended up talking to the provider, and it turns out it was their switch. It wasn't Bernie's fat fingers typing the wrong thing. It was their switch. It didn't like Bernie for that particular day, so he resolved it. So Josh, thank you. And that feature where he's talking about monitoring, really inexpensive compared to, if your computer is your lifeblood, there you go. That's a good insurance, right? East Trade Winds, there's a YouTube link in that space. Now, Mr. Shane Bayless, how do you want this to roll? Do you want me to just kind of do the video or staring scantily into the. Okay, I'm going to play the video, and so I'm going to go. Hey,
there's Shane.
Sorry. So this video.
Don't be sorry. You be good.
Don't be sorry.
No problems. All good. So the video is just kind of one of the things. BIA came in to talk to us about our business, which is the business kind of people that do a lot of free stuff. So if you guys ever have something you want to promote, like a golf tournament or whatever, local businesses. I think there's one in Canada, Westboro, stuff like that too. And they do a really good job. They actually came in, they filmed some of the stuff, they edited it for us, and they sent it to us. So it was a really great thing. I got the long version where we have one that's a little bit tighter for like people that don't have the attention span. But as I know you guys, have a little bit more attention span than most. This one's not as long as the ones I do because they even maybe cut it down anyway. So it just kind of talks about a little stuff that we offer at our clinic. It also talks a little bit about the concussion and the walk that we do in September as well. Hopefully that answers some questions for you. Obviously, there's more details behind the scenes about certain modalities that we use, how they actually work on certain conditions. So if you want more information, by all means, contact me. We're always looking for people going forward. We're looking at organizations right now, especially the niches of hockey. The playoffs are on right now. All the different organizations that could use our help. Even we'd be willing to go into like places like business areas for like a certain day and treat them on a discounted rate. For that as well. So if you know any organizations, sports people that we can even just go and talk to, we're more than happy to do that. So please keep your ears, eyes, and nose open for that and see if we can, hook up with some of those organizations because that's where we're kind of going towards as well. So anyway, thanks again. I'm ProAction Health and Performance. I'm Shane Bayless and enjoy the video.
All right. Thanks, Shane. Here we go. And you should see something as the video loaded up. I'm looking for a nod going, yeah. Is that a yeah or a no?
Yeah, just go. Yep, we're good.
Go. Okay, sorry.
A lot of people often ask, what makes your clinic different than other clinics? And one thing I always talk about is we want our treatments to fit the diagnosis. Hi, I'm Dr. Shane Bayless, also known as Doc Hockey, and I'm the owner of ProAction Health and Performance. I treat players, so we have a lot of junior A teams that we treat around here, as well as junior B teams, the Ottawa Senators, as well as I mentor a lot of hockey players as well through Endeavor Sports Group, which we go and watch them play, watch some video, give them tips on how to increase performance, as well as just the little nuances that happen in the game so they learn the game even better. I've been practicing chiropractic therapy and sports therapy since 2009. Now, I wanted to do a little bit more because I took a lot of courses outside of our chiropractic curriculum, from active release technique, Restream technique, medical acupuncture, kinesiotape, functional range systems. And all those things I like to incorporate and use them in my exams as well as my findings. So when people come in, we often do a test. So I'll test, can you touch your toes? I treat, can you do it better next time afterwards? So I know that I'm going in the right direction and I'm giving the patient what it needs to heal. So when I had all these things incorporated, I wanted to be able to train a lot of my practitioners the way I have been training and take what they know and incorporate it as well. So having that freedom to do that is why I wanted to kind of open up my own business. I want to see more sports people, as well as just the everyday activity, and really work on our clinical excellence, efficiency, and education of our patients. Here at ProAction Health and Performance, we do a lot of soft tissue work, a lot of nerve work, a lot of modality work. We have physiotherapy, we have chiropractic, we have massage therapy here, and naturopath. We have many different tools that we use to help people get better. We have active release technique, which is a really great soft tissue technique, break down scar tissue, as well as reorganize the tissue so it can be more flexible, stronger, and decrease in pain. One of the great things that we have here is a shockwave machine. Not every clinic has a shockwave machine. It's pretty unique a lot of times to different clinics, depending on what types of things that you're treating. But we have this here. It's really great for breaking down a lot of thick scar tissue or deep scar tissue, like in the shoulders or the hips. The shockwave can also use them for plantar fasciitis, lateral epicondylitis, which is like tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, and it works really well to kind of speed up healing, as well as break down those tough tissues like scar tissue and adhesion in those areas. Another one of our favorite machines that not a lot of the clinics have in Ottawa, it's a very high-powered laser. It's a class 4 laser. It's about 5-minute treatment for most of the times that we're using it, where if you're going to the other clinics, sometimes you have to sit there for half an hour or so to kind of get the same kind of results. It also helps decrease swelling. So one of the reasons we got it was because of a lot of the hockey players or athletes that we treat often have sprains, and sprains swell up really quickly, and you can't do a lot of time right onto the injury. But now with this laser, we can actually put it right onto the injury, help with the swelling, increase circulation, get the lymphatic system activated, as well as the immune system to help clean up the debris that's been there from the damaged tissue. So we also do custom-made braces from Bauerfein. It's a medical grade company that all the braces that they do are medical grade, which means they can be covered under insurance. They're a Germany company that does all the Olympic athletes for bracing, as well as it is measured so it fits you properly from a weight and measurement part. So most of the braces fit really comfortably. They have a knitting brace, so it's really good for compression, which helps with circulation and things as well. And these are really great braces we do from wrists, as well as low back, feet, knees, all that different things like that to help out with anyone that has stability issues, or if they just want more circulation, or to help with their healing as they may be healing from ligament sprains or tears into the muscle as well. So we also use Graston here, which is many people are comfortable or familiar with the Graston instruments. They all come in different sizes. Sometimes you have handlebars, sometimes you have this is used for like wrists and carpal tunnel things. We also use different types of instruments as well to help with different surfaces, different curves of the body, so that we're getting all the scar tissue, the adhesion that is we're looking for to break down to help with people's flexibility and strength. So we also do medical acupuncture. These are acupuncture needles. I know a lot of people are afraid of needles, but really it's just a little bit of a prick that kind of goes in, and then once it's into the body, it usually goes away. So you really don't feel it as much anymore. And if it is uncomfortable or discomfort, we take it out because we don't want to have anyone having that type of pain, because we're trying to break the pain cycle when we're doing medical acupuncture with it. We also see that sometimes with strength problems. So if I'm not getting the strength when I'm doing muscle testing, and I've done some of the active release or the soft tissue work and it's not working, medical acupuncture often helps stabilize and promotes strength by getting the messaging to kick up again. So it's kind of like an inhibited muscle now to an activated muscle. And that's where we use a lot of our medical acupuncture to help with just the flow, the energy, decrease inflammation, and create strength through muscles and ligaments. So we do a lot of concussion management here. We do a lot of functional neurology, which is basically including different systems to help other broken systems go forward. So with a concussion, you often have detours that happen. So you get some breaking of the messaging from neurons, and so they can't flow as straightforward as they want to. So they have to keep doing detours, just like if you were doing detours on the road. And by the time you get past all the detours, the time takes a lot longer, as well as you're exhausted and stressed because of all the extra things that you had to endure to find your way to your office or your house. Just a lot of different modalities that we use to help out the systems that aren't working well to the systems that do. So it's a very individual-based type of program that we do. We do some vision therapy to help with the eyes coordinate better. We do balance vestibular system. We do coordination things. We also do some neck soft tissue therapy, some cranial work, and exercise. So exertion-wise, can you perform activity without getting more headaches or more nauseousness or dizziness or fatigue? And we do that in a progressive stage so that you are able to combat a lot of the symptoms without putting you over top of your threshold, and you're able to learn from the exercise that we're doing to create those pathways again for the concussion that has disrupted those messaging systems.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Jarris. I'm the resident animal chiropractor here at ProAction Health and Performance. In this office, I treat dogs, cats, and the occasional rare animal like a guinea pig or a bunny. And what we usually see here are older dogs, dogs that have arthritis, that need a little help getting around the house. I do see dogs that are sporting dogs. I see injuries, post-surgical cases for cats and dogs. We do custom orthotic braces for dogs that have ACL tears. We use the Class 4 laser therapy, which has been a wonderful tool for dogs with inflammation or coming out of surgeries. We also do acupuncture. We have Dr. Pamela Corey here, who works here with me, and she's certified with the Chi Institute of Acupuncture for Animals. She also offers some holistic services for the dogs. We offer a wider range of supplements here that can help dogs, from mushrooms to joint supplements to bovine colostrum, which has been great for gut health and allergies. We try to find a nice holistic approach that can work with your regular vet practices at home. We care for the animals. We take our time with the animals. We like to follow through with the animals, and anything we can do to make their lives happy, healthy, and longer lived.
So the future here at ProAction Health and Performance is we're looking at dividing our clinics into 2 different clinics. so that we have a musculoskeletal portion as well as a concussion portion. This is looking into the future where we're going to add some optometrists that are specialized in vision therapy, as well as counselors to help with that emotional, psychological problems that often happen with trauma in concussion as well. And just an overall nutritionalist, those types of things that really help out with creating the whole person, really getting them better as a whole to help speed up recovery. So instead of taking years, hopefully we can cut that down to months and things like that as well. We're also incorporating videos at this time to help with subacute, acute injuries where people are getting hurt on the weekend or they're away on a trip and they don't have any access to care at that time. We're using a really great strength coach out of Buffalo. His name is Stephen Helmicki for Primordial Strength Systems. So we're really excited about bringing those videos in the next year or so that people can have access to those without having to have access to the primary location or in person. I once had a patient that came in to see me who had been dealing with many different ailments, that low back pain specifically, that had seen different chiropractors, physiotherapists, massage therapy for many years. And she was kind of on her last straw. And finally, she came in to see me and we were able to help her out considerably. And she often, tells people about us that saying, we saved her life, which we appreciate. And we know that, getting her back to the normal things she does was mainly what she was talking about. But she says, the reason we came and saw you and I felt that you were different was I saw results. So we're a very result-driven clinic. We're very efficient and we're working on our clinical excellence to get to those points so that people are feeling better about themselves and continue on their way. So if you've seen 3 different doctors in the last 6 months, you're still in pain and looking for something to help improve you, come give us a try. I really think that we'll be able to help you out or educate you in the best ways to help yourself with ourselves or a different provider that can really help your condition.
And Shane. Oh, hang on. Well, there we go. Shane, if you're available for questions.
Bam! You betcha.
Great video, Shane.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. Like I said, I have a 5 minutes all cleaned up and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a longer version, more detailed. Because I like to say O's and sums and all that other stuff. So, yeah. So that's what kind of things. But thank you very much. Hope everyone got something out of it.
Shane, I got a
Shane,
question.
Whoops, sorry.
Go ahead,
I
madam.
noticed that I thought you were incorporating the whole holistic medicine with your in your clinic also, like with Dr. Ann.
Yeah, Dr. Ann, she's in our clinic as well. She's on Tuesdays, naturopathic and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So, I didn't have as much time to do everything, and we kind of went through things pretty quickly on that day too. So if I didn't mention her, she's at the beginning where we see her on Tuesdays. She does great work with everybody that we think that obviously can help her out. Our concussion patients will come see her. People that have just, histories too that are kind of unique. They're struggling with pain more general all over the place because we call that chronic systemic problems. And that often happens with a lot of people. People that have trouble sleeping, the pain's kind of generalized rather than specific. There's no trauma as in like, oh my goodness, I sprained my finger or my ankle. Obviously, trauma can be something of a general pain thing, but at the same time, those type of systemic chronic conditions, and often you can see inflammatory markers on blood tests, all those different things. But she's also just a great person to have if you are looking to, lose weight. Long COVID people have been to see her, even short COVID people too, because it does affect you neurologically. And we all know neurologically, you need a lot of supplements or support in the area to make the process in the body happen faster and get rid of inflammation. So it's really important for anyone, especially if you're getting chronic sick. And she's homeopathic. So she does a lot of stuff where she, looks at ailments that maybe you get every year. You get bronchitis in September or whatever it is, where you have a certain condition that's kind of, how would you say, repetitive. She's often a great person to go through because the homeopathic stuff works really, really well. And I'll tell anybody that has those types of things that you might want to see Anne because she can really help you out.
Are there any other questions?
So, Shane, typically, what kind of stuff do you go through regarding the dogs? You had mentioned that Jen does the dogs. Is it mostly arthritic where they're having a tough time, older dogs, or just so we have an idea if we come across someone that has some things, what typically kind of things are you seeing in your clinic?
Yeah, there's a wide range of stuff though, but I always say, go see them almost first to get the diagnosis. They'll tell you if they need more checks and stuff like that, because often once you get into those vet clinics, they tie you into, oh, we need an x-ray, we need an MRI, we need a blood test.
Yes.
And we all know that dogs ain't usually covered under OHIP last time I checked.
Yes.
So
right.
unless you got pet insurance, that can be a hefty bill. And even pet insurance, you're usually paying a copay anyway of a deductible and things like that. But the ones like people say, oh, my dog couldn't move the back legs, right? Or it's peeing but doesn't even know it's peeing because of the paralyzation. That's usually kind of a disc injury. And Jen can help out with people with that too. Everyone gets really scared and they're always like, oh, that's definitely MRI. We need to surgically do this. They get better, right? Usually a heavy dose of anti-inflammatory and then start moving the stuff around, just like humans. You can probably remember a time where you had a guy who couldn't move, right? He's stuck in bed. He can't even roll over in bed. It's really painful or whatever. Most likely he's not peeing his bed, but they often have problems with that. And it's very similar to humans, and they do get better. And we don't do surgically repair humans when we have that, do we? So it's something you wouldn't do with the animal. Now, sometimes people will also say the activity, the dog's not eating. The dog is sitting weird with the leg out, or it doesn't jump up on the couch anymore. Its gait's a little bit off. It's a little bit more irritated. It's moody. It might be a little bit snappy. Those types of things too. It's the behavior of the dog that changes, and dogs don't hide things, right? That's why we like treating them so much. It's like you fix them, like, okay, is it better? You'll go look to see how they walk, how they kind of move. Next thing you know, they move better or whatever. Unlike humans, we have a little psychological component, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And everybody always wants to make you feel better. So I'm always like, well, how much better is it, right? And they're like, oh, it's 5% better. It's a little better. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the same. Good. Let's move on. So, hey, that's all we care about is make sure that we're on the right track to get you better, and not just because we want to, you make us feel better that we've done something and you feel like you should feel better.
Yeah. Good point about the vets. So you would be considerably less expensive than going to a vet.
Yeah, and they always do like the ACL tears that we see that a lot too. Jen does bracing for dogs as well, so she has like a brace for them so that they can help take off weight off the leg, because it's hard to get a dog not to move around sometimes. But with those types of things, you have to rest them. So you're putting them, sometimes in a crate or with that. But the brace really helps out. It's called a Hero's brace. They are expensive, the Hero braces, but you can have them instead of the surgery, which the surgery obviously would be tons more to doing that. And it's harder to get the dog to stay put after surgery as well.
Okay, thanks, Shane.
Yep.
Question to ask you, Shane.
Yeah.
Light therapy. I noticed that you had a whole bunch of different lenses. Ones were red, blue, and green, etc. So what's the story behind that?
So we do that a lot with our concussion patients. Like you're talking about the glasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the glasses. So everyone that goes in, like, oh, the light's really bothering me. So they put these thick sunglasses on, the ones that block out all the light. The problem is we need to get you back to the real world. So unfortunately, if we block out all the light, your body just becomes used to not seeing light at all. So anytime you get light, it's like, oh my goodness. Now, how many times have you been in a dark room and all of a sudden you go to the bright light outside, you're like, oh my goodness, right? Same thing happens when you're kind of in that fight-flight scenario where your eyes are really dilated and all of a sudden you get light in them. So what we try to do is we look at what light bothers you. We put those types of lights, those glasses on you to filter out that light. So if it's like purple, you go outside and purple really bugs you. We put purple glasses. It filters out the purple. Then you can see better. It's not as irritating. And your body gets used to the other lights that are transmitted through. And hopefully we can start producing other things, as in more exposure to light. Maybe you're getting 10 minutes in the morning and then we put the glasses back on. Or even during our sessions, we're putting those glasses on so that you are more energy conserved. Because with our concussion patients, a lot of times they get overwhelmed while we're doing things, from vestibular exercises to eye tracking, all that stuff. And if they're getting overstimulated, then we have to take a break, because if not, we're going to crash them. And what that means is basically their energy is gone. They get headaches, they get nausea, dizziness, or anything like that comes on because their energy is so low. These people don't wake up with a full battery. They wake up with half a battery. So we have to deal with that and make sure we're doing things like meditation, resting, we call it grounding, carotid massage, cold water in the face, even a cold plunge. Some of those things can really help reduce energy intake and help regenerate the batteries so they can continue. So the glasses help us do that in clinic as well as outside. Now, there is a great place called Opticom. Opticom is a place you go there. They work with ADHD. They work with disability, autism, all that stuff, where they have people that have calm colors. Red, blue, white are calm colors, usually for athletes. The red is actually stimulating, so it actually helps them performance-wise. But anyways, so they find the color that works for this kid. They put the lights in the room, the colors in the room, their clothes on or whatever, and it calms them down. So they're not hyper-focused, and they don't become agitated at the end of the day because they can't stay attention. And this stuff really works well. They even have, they have papers, right? So they even draw on the same color paper. So it's a really great thing. It's Opticom does really good shades. So it's not just purple shade. It's like purple 362B, so it's very specific. So even your optometrist, who usually does about 4 colors, they're not as good as these guys are. And you might have to go through a little bit of an exam and pay a little bit out of the pocket, but you'll know that color forever. They're really helpful. They're there to get you better. They've had a kid that's had this really change their life. So for me, it's a no-brainer. If you're suffering from light sensitivities, go see them, get it assessed, and get it done. That's Karen Monet at Opticom. Great people.
Shane, thank you. Are there any other questions from the gallery? 3, 2, 1, gone. Quote for the day: the man who removes a mountain